Welcome, and thank you for taking time to learn more about Curriculate.com, a single internet resource from which educators, students, parents, and readers in general can locate and easily access almost every piece of curricular literature they want from the public domain for their research, lesson planning, reading assignments, or personal reading interests. In this video, we will explain current copyright law and what constitutes public domain, as it applies to literature in general, and to the contents of Curriculate.com's searchable databases of curricular literature. The Curriculate database currently contains more than 140,000 direct links to poems, novels, short stories, essays, plays, histories and other nonfiction works, collections and author-specific anthologies, speeches, sermons, correspondence, and legal documents currently available in the public domain on a large number of carefully screened and certified academic and scholarly websites from around the world. This number will only increase over time as more titles become available online and as we add more authors and develop more bibliographies for our databases. Occasionally, our extensive online searches yield no links to certain titles in an author's bibliography. Sometimes the title of a work will be known to us, but the work itself is lost to history, as in the case of certain ancient texts. Or for whatever reason, a title may be considered too unimportant to be included with an author's other works in an online library, and therefore it's not yet translated into the digital format. Users of Curriculate will discover, however, that there are practically no followable links to the titles listed in the bibliographies of many postmodern and contemporary authors in our libraries. The reason for this is that the works of these authors are still under copyright protection and have not yet been released into the public domain. For a better understanding of what this means, we need to explain copyrights and the public domain. Copyright laws covering intellectual property or creative property, either of which would include both published and unpublished literature, vary from country to country. In general, copyright protection gives the author or creator of a work sole and exclusive rights to that work's use, sale, or other distribution for a specific period of time. These rights may or may not be eligible for renewal at the end of the original term, depending on the laws of the country of origin, and on adjustments a given government may make over time to existing copyright laws. In the U.S., current copyright law grants this protection for the life of the author plus 70 years after the author's death. In other countries, protection varies from 50 to 100 years after the death of the author. Individuals using a copyrighted work for any reason without the formal permission of the author are guilty of copyright infringement and are subject to applicable legal and financial penalties. When the copyright on a literary work expires, it enters what is known as the public domain. Literature in the public domain safely includes almost any work published before 1900, regardless of the nation of origin. From that point, the laws from one country to another may get complicated. In the U.S., for instance, public domain status applies to works published in the U.S. before 1923, and also to other works according to a detailed list of limits and restrictions and exceptions too confusing for most of us to follow. Because Curriculate.com does not host, own, or control access to any literature, we trust that the content on the established websites that we've cataloged in our databases has been thoroughly verified by those hosts as available for access from the public domain. Because it's free from copyright restrictions, literature in the public domain can be copied, reproduced, or republished in its original form, for instance, translated into digital or electronic form and posted on websites such as the many hosting sites Curriculate accesses for its searchable databases. It can also be reproduced with new material added, recast as derivative works, presented in new media forms, translated into new languages, or freely quoted, all without threat of legal action for copyright infringement. So what does this mean for users of Curriculate.com? Our database currently contains more than 140,000 direct links to thousands of titles currently available for free in the public domain. In the case of the copyright-protected postmodern and contemporary authors in our catalog, however, all we can present for now is a collection of virtually complete bibliographies that will be updated as more works are published, even though free online versions may not be available until the end of the copyright term. But these days, most works, including contemporary publications, are available in digital format or as ebooks, and can be purchased from a number of reputable publishers. Curriculate.com is not affiliated with any of these publishers, but if you contact us, we'll be glad to share our favorite sales sites. Here at Curriculate.com, we are always interested in your questions, comments, or suggestions. Use our contact form on the menu bar of the site or email us directly at admin@Curriculate.com. If you think Curriculate might be a useful option for your students, department, or school, or anyone else you know, please tell the appropriate officers about our site and direct them to these videos on the Curriculate channel of YouTube. We hope you found this video helpful in understanding what Curriculate is all about, and we look forward to serving your literature search needs.